51, here with a review, comic book review. Today, I want to give you a little piece of what I like in comic books. I've been telling people for years that my tastes in comics are very eclectic. One of my favorite things in comics, alternate universe stories. I love alternate universes. And one of my favorite series that shows off alternate universes is Marvel's What Ifs. As you can see with this single issue, is what if Rogue possessed the powers of Thor, which this issue is issue 66. Then this is issue 52 of Marvel What Ifs. What if Doctor Doom became the Sorcerer Supreme? And these are two trades of Marvel What Ifs. What If Volume 4 and What If Volume 5. Some of the stories in Volumes 4 and 5 go like this. What if this is a collection, well, for Volume 4, it's a collection of Marvel What If issues 21 through 26, and Volume 5 is a collection of What If issues 27 to 32. The stories involved is what would happen if this is from Volume 5. What if the Phoenix lived, but Hulk died? What if the Avengers took on the world, but Korvac destroys it? Plus, the Eternals, Inhumans, Gods, and Gods, featuring Daredevil as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Whereas in Volume 4, features what if Captain America became President of the United States? What if the Hulk was a microscopic warlord? What if Doctor Doom became a hero? Gwen Stacy alive? This is and also featuring the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, Man-Thing, and more. Plus revelation of some of the Marvel Universe's eternal secrets. So this is some very great stuff. Marvel What Ifs is really an amazing series. Even though in trade I only have volumes 4 and 5. And the only two single issues I have are issues 52 and issue 66. I can tell with the trades I wouldn't be able to speak in detail every individual issue, but my favorite issues out of both my favorite story out of both the trades is what if Captain America became President of the United States. I think that is a fantastic story, and plus, I'm a major fan of the character of Captain America, Steve Rogers, even though I did enjoy Bucky Barnes being Cap for his time, for his tenure. Anyway, I'm going to start things off with Doom 29, with What If Doom Became Sorcerer Supreme. I bought this book recently. With this book, I found it very interesting. It did play to some of the origin of Doctor Doom very well, his original origin, but instead of being scarred, he was scarred, but instead of he went to the Himalayas, but instead of going to Tibetan monks that made him his armor, he went to the Ancient One, who was the teacher of Doctor Strange, or better, used to be the Sorcerer Supreme. Doom had an interesting talk with the Ancient One at first. The Ancient One did not want him to be his pupil. But after Doom and Baron Mordo first met up, Mordo tried to attack Doom, and Doom decided to implant some nanites in Mordo's skull that if he were to die, or naturally, or if Doom killed him, the nanites would explode, make his head explode. The Ancient One, still believing in his archaic ways, thinking that nanites were a figment of Doom's imagination, and Doom disgracing the Ancient One. It also led to, we see Stephen Strange in this book, but with his hands still scarred, but Doom did something to him that was very surprising. And then the heroes of the Marvel Universe, Doom fought Mephisto, the Ancient One kicked Mephisto around, and also, Doom fights Dormammu And actually, Victor dies at the end of this issue. But when but the end of the book will surprise people, but I recommend finding this issue and reading it. Really good. Next up is issue 66. What if Rogue possessed the powers of Thor? This is coming from the Avengers Annual number 10, when Rogue tried to was going to assist Mystique in breaking out fellow members of the Brotherhood out of Rikers. And in the issue, she fought Thor and nearly put him into a coma. But in this book, she held on the Thor way too long, and she began to possess him with his powers, even to the point where she could actually lift Mjolnir, Thor's hammer. And with this is very interesting. She did the same thing she did to Carol Danvers, aka Miss Marvel at the time, which I'm very proud that she got she went up in the ranks and became the actual Captain Marvel. More on that later. With Rogue, she did break out her fellow members of the Brotherhood, and we found out that Thor is an empty husk. Thor's not in his body anymore. He's in Rogue. And Loki's in this book, and I gotta say, Loki was a very interesting character in this book. But the end, it was a very nice ending for Rogue here. She and Thor actually had a talk. A very small talk, few panels, and it was actually really good. I recommend this because this was an epic story, and for anyone who loves alternate universe stories or Marvel What Ifs, this is a recommended reading. And also for anyone who wants to somewhat test the limits of Rogue's powers. Until recently where she could control her powers now. Anyway, so that's my review of what I have in my